friends, and welcome back to my channel. And my name is Mary, in case you're new here. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. It's Flipping Friday. And as you know, I am not a reseller, but I really enjoy thrifting and looking for pieces that I can use in my own home and redoing them to fit my taste. And so that's what we're going to be doing today. And I hope you'll join me because I have a lot of cute things to share with you. So let's go ahead and start flipping. My first project today is this small child's rocking chair that you see here. And it had a very light color to the wood, probably pine, and it was just too light for my taste and what I do with my decor. So I decided to wax it with this dark wax. And what I do with this mixture is I put it in a jar, the dark wax, add some water to water it down a bit, and then a small bit of the Waverly chalk paint color called ink, which is a black color, and that gives it sort of a blackish brown tone rather than a reddish brown tone, which is my favorite. The blackish brown, I do mean. And here you can see me painting up the underside first, and then I'm switching to the top side and making sure that I'm not missing any parts of the rocking chair. And you can see it had a woven seat and back, and I'm not sure what that material is, but I like it because it took a slightly different color on the woven seat and back than on the actual wood, and that gives it a little bit of a two-tone look, which I thought was very pretty. Next, you will see how I have used my little rocking chair here on my fireplace hearth, which is painted white, and it really stands out against that white color of my hearth. So what do you think of it? Does it look okay? I really am happy with it. I just think it's darling. A quick way to restore a thrifted cutting board is to use this same mixture that you see in my jar there, which is what I used on my little rocking chair. I'm just painting it on and giving it more color because it had really faded out quite a bit. And wiping back the color, and then when it is dry, I will do the back side as well. Project number 3 is this beautiful clock that I found thrifting for a very inexpensive price. I think it was around $5.99 perhaps, but I always, get my things half price. I shop on those half price days at the Arc thrift store. And guys, I first scuff sanded it. You don't see that here, my sanding portion, but I did it by hand. And next I'm using this same wax mixture to darken the tone of the clock and give the wood a richer look. I think it really is going to be beautiful and turns out lovely. And here are some close-ups of my finished clock and how I have used it in my decor in my library space of my home. Next, I have this dark gray pegboard that I am using Waverly chalk paint in the color called Elephant. And it is a slightly lighter gray color than the pegboard is at the moment, and I wanted it to be a little bit more visible against the brown of my cabinets where I'm going to be using it in my kitchen. I have a plan for it that I'll show you later on in this video, and I think you'll like how it turned out. And here is a close-up coming for you. The arrow that you see there points to the cutting board that I earlier did my wax treatment to, and here you can see the pegboard, a close-up of it on the side of my island. I love it. Here are 2 thrifted finds that I am going to spruce up so I can use them here in my home. Now, if we take a closer look, you can see that this frame is scratched up quite a bit. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that gold is not my favorite. So I'm going to be using my pewter rub and buff to change this gold trim into a pewter color with the black. And we'll get started on both of these shortly. And this one also has gold in its trim, and we're going to be adding pewter to it. Isn't it a lovely little painting? I just adore it. But it does have some damage here that I'll try to repair. And let's get started. So I am beginning with this oval frame, and I have the perfect brush to try to very carefully go around this frame, taking care to not get any of this ink colored Waverly chalk paint, making sure I don't get it onto the gold, since I want to cover that later with the pewter colored rub and buff. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get this black all painted up. Now I will be using my pewter rub and buff, which comes in this small tube. I have a very small detail type of brush that I'm using to go ahead and cover up the gold with this pewter color. And I just love it already, and I can't wait to show you how it looks when it's finished. As you can see in these photos, I chose to hang this picture of the birds right here in my library on this bookshelf. Here I'm going to be using rub and buff again on this number 6 quick thrift flip that I'll be doing today. And I am simply using this pewter rub and buff in order to cover the gold on this frame. I personally really like the look of a silver color with browns, and as you'll see when I show you the finished project, I think it turned out beautifully. It will be just lovely, and I hope you like it as much as I do. And please comment down below if you can tell me today which one of my flips you liked the best and thought was the prettiest, I guess you could say. So I'd love to hear from you today. Thank you. My last project for this video is this 2-drawer small cabinet that I plan to paint over with ink chalk paint using that same black ink again. And it is a little dinged up. I think I'm going to be showing you, yes, here you can see along the bottom. I believe it is just made with MDF and nothing too special in the wood department. But you can see I'm going to be painting it with a small brush since it is a very small piece, and I'm going to get around these little drawer pulls because they were dinged up a little bit as well, I guess from usage in the past. And so we'll get this taken care of, and I'm smoothing out the paint here. As you can see, we'll get this taken care of, and then I have more in store for this project. Here is a close-up of the before. To make this little drawer set a little bit more interesting, I decided to add a transfer to one side of the piece. And you can see I have cut my transfer sections out carefully to include the colors and the parts of flowers that I wanted to show on my drawer piece. And so here I am adding part of it, and we'll continue until it is done. It really adds a lot of interest, don't you think? Next, I like to use a piece of my transfer sheet to rub in the transfer onto the wood and make sure it's attached quite well before my next step, which will be waxing. So don't forget this little step, everybody. Now, to seal in my chalk paint and my transfer, you must always seal this, and I like to use this Varathane natural colored finishing wax that you can see here. And I like it because it does the job and it's much less expensive than some of the other waxes that you can buy, the clear waxes. And so I am going to get this all done and protect my new project for future use. And here's how I styled my little drawer set in my library. And you can see I like to add doilies to almost anything. I'm always searching for them when I am out thrifting. And guys, thank you for stopping by my channel, and I hope you come back again. Don't forget to like my video or subscribe if you enjoy what I'm doing here at Rocky Mountain Gardens. So see you the next time. This is Mary saying bye for now.